of dollars in this world just shifting from hand to hand. How would you like to get your hands on more of that money? Simply by taking 15 minutes out of your day one time, you can start to see some of that money put back into your pockets. According to MSN.com, the 6 big banks known as JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley own roughly $9.3 trillion in total assets. $9.3 trillion is a hard number to get your eyes around. However, that is about 75% of our domestic debt. A lot of that capital is made off, or is currently being made off, the American people's money. And I'm going to tell you how to get that back. Small, simple steps that, if followed, will save you over $200 a year just for 15 minutes of your time. Large financial institutions, such as the Big Six, are for-profit. These banks' main concerns is to use their resources as efficiently as possible to maximize their profit. This means charging you, the customer, small fees for maintenance, overdraft fees, insufficient balance fees, things like that, just so they can maintain their profit margins. These fees can range anywhere from $3 to $45. According to Investopedia.com, overdrafting is the most common, and that charges anywhere from $15 to $31, which is the federal maximum limit. One of the most common ones outside of the overdraft is the ATM charge. Most banks, when you use your own home, what they call it, home ATMs, they don't charge you anything, and nor should they. However, if you're a Chase user and you go to Wells Fargo, you're going to be charged $2.50. So they definitely charge you little ticky-tack things here and there just so you can get your money back from them. There are tons of advantages to having a larger bank, but there are a lot of advantages to having a smaller bank like a credit union. Basically, everything's the same on what they offer. It's just how they offer it, and big banks tend to do a better job of advertising their free this and free that, because they have the money to advertise that, whereas the credit unions get overlooked because they're not the ones actively advertising. Big banks use your money on foreign investments to try and maximize earnings. When those investment flops, it raises fees for you, and ultimately a bank's foreign investments is never really going to help you specifically. You're never going to see increased percentage rates on your savings account or anything like that, but mostly it's always going to hurt you. So when things don't work, they're going to start increasing fees and things like that to get their money back on flopped investments. The beautiful thing about credit unions is that they're all FDIC insured, just like the big banks. Basically, FDIC insurance states that you are protected for up to $125,000 per account. So that's definitely a great thing. Another awesome thing about credit unions is they're the only financial institution that did not receive a government bailout. Not only are these credit unions just as safe as big banks, but even more fair and reliable than the Big Six specifically. Credit unions look at who is asking and not just a piece of paper. These credit unions are safe, reliable, and accessible, and I honestly don't know what else you could want out of a bank for you. As you can see, there are a lot of reasons to make the switch to a credit union. Credit unions don't charge ticky-tacky fees here and there. They also tend to have lower interest rates as a whole, but they also have higher savings account rates. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're not having to pay a lot, but you're receiving more than you would at a big bank. By far, credit unions are the safest way to go. Not a single credit union is forced to take that government loan. And that's a huge thing in the eyes of the American people. They want to know that their stuff, all their assets, their life insurance policies, things like that, are taken care of by the right people, and they just don't want some greedy politician, with their hands on their money. and that should speak volumes to how they are as a business, how they run their business and how they treat their customers. All the information brought forward has really opened my eyes even more as how much greater a credit union is than a bigger bank. I mean, I always thought the big banks were the best, it's the most reliable, it's the safest, but when you actually do some research and you see how much the banks have lost within the last 10 years, as opposed to credit unions, you'll really be surprised on who's making the most money. And obviously by putting your money just in a savings account, you're not going to be making a whole bunch of money anyways, but a penny saved is a penny earned, they say, and in all honesty, I think the only way to go is the credit union, and I hope you got that out of all the information I presented to you today.